Trump, but what about the first 100 days of the Democrats? I got to read you this interesting quote here from Matthew Continetti, a conservative Washington Free Beacon, but he writes this: "What the Democratic Party has yet to understand is that its social and cultural agenda is irrelevant or inimical to the material and spiritual well-being of their former constituents. And until the Democrats recognize this fact, their next 100 days will be no better than their first." I'm going to guess, Chris Matthews, you agree with that?
Well, yeah, well, I think I was talking about it earlier. A lot of it's cultural, not just economics. And I think that the position Hillary Clinton, for example, took on abortion, late-term abortion's fine, federal funding, get rid of the Hyde Amendment, pushed too far. I think a lot of the people came out and voted in Pennsylvania, where I'm from, were pro-lifers. They just, with all Trump's problems, morally, personally, whatever, they didn't like Hillary's position. I think the party moved too far to the left on cultural issues.
Helene, the other interesting fact about the first 100 days is the most popular member of the Democratic Party is not a member. Bernie Sanders.
That's true. No, that's very true. And the left of the Democratic Party, as you know, loves him. I mean, in the last 100 days, I mean, we haven't seen, you said we were going to talk about the Democrats, and I was like, who are they again?
Yeah.
It's like they've completely disappeared. I certainly hope
But they're more popular right now than their Republican counterparts.
They may well be in power again in a year, in 2 years, and I hope they're spending this time out in the wilderness coming up with actual proposals and plans for what they're going to do, unlike the Republicans who spent their time in the wilderness talking about getting rid of health care and then didn't have a plan.
And I think the biggest problem for them is that it hasn't gotten better since Election Day. I mean, you go out and talk to Democrats who pick Trump, and they say that they're more embarrassed now. They can't imagine voting for a Democrat again, that nothing they've done since the election has seemed to address the reasons that they alienated this working class part of their base on Election Day.
That's exactly right. The Democrats were meant to be the party of the people, and instead Donald Trump really got elected as a man of the people. Argue with it all you want, but at the end of the day, they looked like the party of Beyonce. We saw that at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night. They're the party of Beyonce and Barbara Streisand.
Hey, don't knock Beyonce.
Yeah, well,
no, seriously.
The Beehive will come for you.
She is not a political leader. Forgive me. She is not a woman who's going to fix the problems of the American people.
No, I mean, you ask a Democrat, including Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, all the big stars of the party now, you ask them, what's your position on illegal immigration? And they're offended by the question. They don't have a position. They don't have a position on bringing back manufacturing jobs. The reasons people voted for Trump, they don't even want to address, and they've got to have a counter agenda. I think a counter agenda right now would make a lot of sense. You know, they had a good bipartisan bill on immigration, a truly comprehensive bill that had 12 Republicans. Go back to that and say that's where we stand. We're not for throwing people out. We're for a reasonable, enforceable border patrol, and we're for stopping illegal hiring. We're for real things. Instead, they just think running against Trump is their solution. I think it's going to be
okay. Work for Hillary,
and calling everybody a bigot.
All right, but okay. Except guess what? In 2009, we were having similar conversations with the Republicans. They had no counter agenda. President Obama was throwing everything, and just sitting there allowing anti-Obama unite the party. Worked.
I disagree. Obamacare is what worked. Obamacare rushed.
So repealing Obamacare will work for the Democrats too?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. But I mean, I don't think it was that they were doing nothing and they woke up and suddenly had great successes. I think that a grassroots sort of element of Republicans and libertarians went out in opposition to Obamacare.
Well, what's happening now? What do you see with this energy on the left? Because you're right, the Democrats haven't offered anything, but the energy's there.
But it's all energy, and it's not directed towards anything. It's exactly what Chris said. It's all about name calling. It's not about standing for anything. And at the end of the day, if the party doesn't stand for something, they don't get elected.
Well, by the way, I think our job is to help parties win at all costs. I mean, you can sit down and say, you know, Mitch McConnell, that's a brilliant idea. Say their number one objective is to get rid of Obama. Now, why should anybody in journalism, or ideologically conservative or middle of the road or whatever, why should it be the job of the people who think about issues to help one party win over the other? What's the point in that? What's the point? It's not our job. I don't want to help parties.
Nobody's saying that, but I'm just telling you what politically works.
No,
you know, I don't even want to answer that question, because if being awful works sometimes.
But I think if the Democrats said, "I'll take your money and build a bridge. I'll work with you on trade because I'm as protectionist as you are." I mean, I think what the Democrats are missing is that some of Trump's stuff is their stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah, but the Republicans played that game and it worked for them. I mean, there was a lot of the Obama stuff.
Right, but Obama's stuff wasn't our stuff.
No.
Okay, why doesn't Pelosi say, I've got a plan to fix Obamacare? There's a couple things we got to do to make it work. Okay, I'm going to break the rule. I'm going to go to the floor and break the rule, get control of the schedule, and we're going to have a vote on that. Go out there and be aggressive. That's what Reagan did. Break the rule on the other side, get control of the vote, and try to do something. I think the Democrats could win on a lot of issues if they would just start challenging challenging the leadership of the
I
other
think
side.
it's very possible, though, that they don't need to do that.
Wait, go ahead. Last word.
They don't need to do that.
Susan Collins said this. She said, people punish you if you work with the other side. That's the biggest problem in politics right now.
You can beat the
You're
other
right,
side
but
if you
they
get control
punish
of the
you.
debate.
Right. All right.